देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवत्युत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी। Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 9, Chapter 19, Text number 20. Drishtam Shrutam Asat Budva Drishtam Shrutam Asat Budva Na Anudhyayet Na Sandishet Na Nanudhyayet Na Sandishet Samsritim Cha Atmanasham Cha Samsritim Chatma Nasham Cha Tatra Vidvan Saha Atmadrak Tatra Vidvan Sa Atmadrak Drishtam Shrutam Asad Bhutva Nanudhyayena Sandishet Samsritim Chatmanasham Cha Tatra Vidvan Sa Atmadrak Drishtam Shrutam Asad Bhutva Nanudhyayena Sandishet Samsritim Chatmanasham Cha Tatra Vidvan Sa Atmadrak. Drishtam, the material enjoyment we experience in our present life. Shrutam, material enjoyment as promised to the fruity workers for future happiness, either in this life or in the next, in the heavenly planets, and so on. Asat, all temporary and bad. Budva, knowing. Na, not. Anudhyayet, one should even think of. Na, nor. Sandishet, should actually enjoy. Samsritim, prolongation of material existence. Cha, and Atmanasham, forgetfulness of one's own constitutional position. Cha, as well as Tatra, in such a subject matter. Vidvan, one who is completely aware. Saha, such a person. Atmadrik, a self-realized soul. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, Srila Bhai Charanarvinda Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Translation. One who knows that material happiness, whether good or bad, in this life or in the next, on this planet or on the heavenly planets, is temporary and useless, and that an intelligent person should not try to enjoy or even think of such things, is the knower of the self. Such a self-realized person knows quite well that material happiness is the very cause of continued material existence and forgetfulness of one's own constitutional position. Can you repeat the translation? One who knows that material happiness, whether good or bad, in this life or in the next, on this planet or on the heavenly planets, is temporary and useless, and that an intelligent person should not try to enjoy or even think of such things, is the knower of the self. Such a self-realized person knows quite well that material happiness is the very cause of continued material existence and forgetfulness of one's own constitutional position. Purport. The living entity is a spiritual soul, and the material body is his engagement. This is the beginning of spiritual understanding. Dehinosmin yata dehe kaumaram yavanam jara tata dehantara praptir dhiras tatra na muhyati. As the embodied soul continually passes in this body from boyhood to youth to old age, the soul similarly passes into another body at death. The self-realized soul is not bewildered by such a change. The real mission of human life is to get free from engagement in the material body. Therefore, Krishna descends to teach the conditioned soul about spiritual realization and how to become free from material bondage. Yada yada hi dharmasya glanir bhavati bharata. The words dharmasya glani means pollution of one's existence. Our existence is now polluted and it must be purified. Satvam shuddhyet. The human life is meant for this purification, not for thinking of happiness in terms of the external body, which is the cause of material bondage. Therefore, in this verse, Maharaja Yayati advises that whatever material happiness we see and whatever is promised for enjoyment is all merely flickering and temporary. Abrahma Bona Loka Punar Avartino Arjuna. Even if one is promoted to Brahmaloka, if one is not freed from the material bondage, one must return to this truth, is self-realized, sa atmadrik. But aside from him, everyone suffers in the cycle of birth and death, mrityu samsara vartmani. This understanding is one of true intelligence, and anything contrary to this is but a cause of unhappiness. Krishna Bhakta Nishkama Ataiva Shanta. Only a Krishna conscious person who knows the aim and object of life is peaceful. All others, whether karmis, jnanis, or yogis, are restless and cannot enjoy real peace. Thus ends the Bhaktivinoda purport and translation to Canto 9, Chapter 19, Text 20 of Srimad Bhagavatam. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Namah Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschati Deshatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Maharaja Yayati, one of the well-known ancient kings, is explaining the nature of material happiness in this verse. He's saying here, Drishtam Shrutam Asad Buddha. So the nature of material happiness is Drishtam, Shrutvam, and Asat. Three things he is saying. Shrutam, although here it is translated in this verse as whether good or bad, either in this life or the next, or in heavenly planets, and so on. So Shrutam means, uh, that's why the word Drishtam is used before Shrutam. Drishtam Shrutam. Drishtam means Drishti, to see the fact, to experience reality, not theoretical. That's why the word Atmadrik is also used in the end of this verse, in the last line. The word Vidwan is also used. You can see how many words are used. Drishtam, Shrutam, Vidwan, Atmadrik. Imagine. So the verses spoken in Srimad Bhagavatam are one of realized statements by realized souls. Those who see the truth, those who are learned, highly learned, Vidwan, Atmadrik, those who are self-realized, Drishtam, those who have experienced in their own life. And then they're speaking, they're advising, they're instructing, they're guiding, they're directing how we should conduct our life in every aspect. Whether we want happiness, whether we have to perform our duty. So in every aspect, they direct us. Drishtam, so those who, the material enjoyment we experience in our present life. One who knows, Buddha, one who knows, Drishtam, that material happiness, Shrutam, whether good or bad, experienced in this life or next, meaning whether in human body or in any other body. There are 84 lakh varieties of bodies. 84 lakh varieties of material bodies are there. So whether experienced in this life or next, meaning whether in this body or any kind of body. Therefore, it is also said whether in this planet or any other planet. Because all material bodies, that 84 lakh species, what we talk about, is not experienced only in this earth planet, is not seen only in this earth planet. Therefore, many times the modern man thinks, really, are there 84 lakh species? But we don't see them. We have a handful of, male and female as far as human is concerned. And we have some few thousand plant species, few thousand animal species. But then the Padma Purana gives a count of lakhs. Jalaja Navalakshani. Aquatics are 9 lakhs. So where do you see 9 lakhs? You see some few thousands in the oceanic world as per the modern discovery, latest discovery. Some few thousands you may see of species, shark fish, goldfish, Silverfish, this, that, or some few things are there. Oyster, some whales, some few thousands are there. But how do you get 9 lakh varieties? 9 lakh aquatics. Can you imagine? Where are those species? So, similarly, Sthavara Laksha Vimshati, Bhagavatam talks about 20 lakh varieties of plants. It may include even herbs and all these things, fruits, vegetables, everything. Fruits, vegetables, herbs, all these things. But where do you find 20 lakh varieties? So, meaning that is why here it is said on this planet or in the heavenly planets, of course, Prabhupada says, and so on. Yeah, hellish planets. So, Bhagavatam is talking, keeping the entire cosmic world in view. So, these species, 84 lakh species, can be present in any part of the universe or even the cosmic creation. Not necessarily it has to be in Earth. All these different kinds of bodies we talk about. 4 lakh varieties of human beings. Where do you see? Male, female, only two we see. 4 lakh varieties. All these devatas, they're all different grades of human beings in different planets. Asuras, hmm, so they are another grade of human beings. So, so this material happiness, whether it is good or bad, experienced in this life or next, whether in this planet or another planet. Shrutam Buddhva, one who knows that that material happiness experienced in this body or any other body, in this world or any other world. It can also refer to the actual situation of the planets, whether in Earth or in heavenly planets or in hellish planets. Asat ultimately is temporary and useless. So, this is the important point in this verse. Asat, all forms of material happiness is temporary and it is useless. It doesn't satisfy the soul. Therefore, Maharaj Ayati is saying, Na anudhyayan na sandishet. Na anudhyayan. One should never spend his time meditating on different forms of material enjoyment. For a conditioned soul, the moment he gets up till he takes rest, or even when he rests, there is constant planning going how to become happy, how to enjoy the senses, how to enjoy this world, how to enjoy all the resources in this world. Day and night planning is going on. How to enjoy. Anudhyayen. You see, constant meditation is going on. How to enjoy. And therefore, we can see by their meditation, they have expanded the scope of material enjoyment in this world. And therefore, you can see so many material products. So many material products. And it keeps increasing and ever expanding. The scope of enjoying, how all one can enjoy. They go on creating material products, more and more, more and more, more and more. And the more you meditate, more you will expand, actually. And that is called innovation in today's world. And there's a lot of recognition and appreciation for this innovation. Newer and newer forms of material enjoyment. Everywhere you can see. You can take in mobiles, you can take in flats, different color, different room, different interiors, different this, different that. Everywhere you can see. You can see the garment industry. It's a big industry. So many varieties. They go on producing newer and newer, newer and newer, newer and newer fashions, apparels. Such a big industry it is. Food industry, newer and newer variety, newer and newer taste, newer and newer taste, newer and newer forms. Unlimited, practically. One phone you may require, but how many varieties, how many models? So there's no end, actually, because they're constantly meditating how to come up with a new product. Hmm? And such persons are valued highly. But Maharajayat is saying, Na anudhyayan. One should not meditate on material happiness, whether good or bad. Na sandishet. He is also saying, uh, one should not even think of such things. First of all, he's saying one should not try to enjoy. Na sandishet. Don't enjoy. Whichever category it is, good or bad, doesn't matter. We have nothing to do with that. Na sandishet. He says, now don't even think of such things. If you can sit in this platform, such a person is said to be Atmadrik, knower of the self. He is called a self-realized person. If somebody can be free from such meditation of expanding material happiness and trying to enjoy material happiness, if he is freed from these disturbances and agitations, he is actually a self-realized soul. Now, why uh, this recommendation? Why is Maharajayate or Bhagavatam telling avoid material happiness, whichever kind it is? Because here it is, he is saying, Samsritim. This material happiness is the very cause of prolongation of material life. So long one wants to enjoy this material body, one has to accept material body. So long one wants to enjoy his senses, one has to take rebirth. So the only one cause of rebirth is so long we continue to enjoy our senses materially. That's the only cause of rebirth, scientific cause of rebirth. Some sritim, it will prolong our material existence in this world. Not only that, cha atmanasham, it will also uh, make us forget our original constitutional position. Two things are happening. Samsritim and atmanasham. The more one indulges in sense gratification, enjoying one's senses, then uh, we are extending our material life, and further uh, we'll also be forgetting our original constitutional position as a spirit soul, part and parcel of Krishna. Our entire spiritual existence, we will forget slowly, slowly, slowly. Therefore, he is saying, Tatra Vidvan Sa Atmatrik. One who is completely aware of these truths and therefore avoids sense gratification is said to be a self-realized soul. So, this is the realization which Srimad Bhagavatam is presenting, the experience of highly realized souls. Now, for us to realize or come to this point may take millions of lives and we may not even reach this realization. Therefore, it is interesting to note this material world will exist eternally because there are souls who never realize for eternity these facts. That is Atmanasham and Samsritim. In fact, mostly the just like in two verses before it was described by Maharaja Yayati himself. I spent a full 1000 years enjoying sense gratification, yet my desire to enjoy such pleasure increases daily. See, it is not reducing, it only increases. So the disease of sense gratification will only increase, it will not decrease. So sometimes people think that, you know, after enjoying sufficient in this world, and even after sometimes getting suffering, experiencing suffering in this world, we will become mature. Actually, it may not happen. Eternally, one can live in this world, and that's a fact. Uh, When creation began, actually nobody knows. Nobody can trace. Millions of cycles have passed, and still the souls are continuing in this world to live in this world. That means what? So, for millions of years, millions of lifetimes, we are continuing with the same strong spirit, and that spirit is only increasing. The hope is only increasing. You can just see the realized statements, how true they are coming. Our life is only continuing, birth after birth, birth after birth. And there is great anxiety in the heart of not being able to satisfy sufficiently material desires. It is burning. Not being able to satisfy those material desires and pacify the material desires. What is the truth? What is the proof that the material desires are not pacified and satisfied? The proof is you are hankering for more, 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 more without limit, without end. This itself is a very proof. Bhagavatam says, on the other hand, the proof of Krishna consciousness that Krishna consciousness is completely satisfying. What is the proof? It gives a very simple, practical example. In the 11th canto, it is described very nicely. Just like a person who is hungry, then if he's provided with a nutritious meal, and every morsel he eats, three things happen. Every morsel of food he eats, three things happen. What is that? One thing is his hunger is mitigated because he's eating. Every morsel he can experience. These are all very subtle. When you do bifurcation, deep analysis, then all these things can be understood. Three things happen. Although no, we just eat and then we just get up from the meal and then continue to our work. But if you deeply analyze, three things are happening when you are hungry. There's a nutritious meal in front of you. First thing is your hunger is mitigated. Second thing is uh, you are nourished. Your body is nourished. Third thing is you are satisfied. Every morsel you eat, you are satisfied. Your hunger is mitigated. And you feel nourishment, energy. Similarly, Krishna consciousness works like that. Every chant, every Sankirtana, every Bhagavatam class we hear, every time you take even Krishna Prasadam, every time you apply the principles of bhakti, you associate with devotees, you come to the temple, every act, just like every morsel, every grain which enters, gets into your body, you feel mitigation of hunger, you feel satisfied, hmm? You feel nourished, the soul gets nourished, and you can see that the soul is getting nourished. You can see your body is getting nourished, body is gaining strength, and you're feeling satisfied, which is a mental feeling. Similarly, when you apply yourself to Krishna consciousness, happiness, Krishna conscious meditation, instead of sense gratification meditation. Sense gratification meditation is very taxing and tiring. Krishna conscious meditation is very relieving. You can try this and see. One day, 1 week, 1 month. You can try this and see. Krishna conscious meditation, Krishna conscious life is very relieving. It's a stress buster, eternal stress buster. But material planning is simply increasing our anxiety. So Krishna is very satisfying, very nourishing, nourishes the soul, and the material happiness, we become detached from material happiness. Hmm? We get away with material happiness. We are no more interested in material happiness. Therefore, in the Bhagavatam, again it is said, another symptom, bhakti paresha anubhava viraktir anyatra syat. Bhakti paresha anubhava. Bhakti is a paresha anubhava. It's a transcendental spiritual experience, paresha anubhava. And here, what is in contrast, Shukadeva Goswami is saying, Manajayat is saying, Asat, it is temporary and useless. And here in contrast, it is said, Paresha Anubhava. It is very transcendental and worth experiencing. Worth experiencing. It is worth our time and life. Bhakti. Paresha Anubhava. Here the Drishtam, the experience is Asat. Drishtam Asat. And there Bhakti Paresha Anubhava. You see? Same words being used there also, but contrasting. The nature of spiritual happiness is being nicely captured in the Bhagavatam. Bhakti Paresha Anubhava. Not only that, Virakti Ranyatra Syat. It not only gives you a positive spiritual experience, simultaneously it also detaches you from all negative material experiences. Viraktir Anyatra Syat. Anything which does not foster bhakti, support bhakti, it will also develop natural detachment in you without separately practicing vairagya. See, the renunciants, the spiritualists who are not Vaishnavas, generally they practice renunciation separately. But Vaishnavas don't practice vairagya separately. Just by increasing bhakti, automatically jnana and vairagya follow, are concomitant factors. The Bhagavatam first canto, this is described. Simply by increasing one's bhakti, jnana and vairagya automatically is developed, manifests automatically. See? So you don't even have to really worry about detaching oneself. Viraktir anyatra syat. You don't even have to work on that. If actually you're advanced in Krishna consciousness, detachment is a natural consequence. Knowledge is a natural consequence. So the devotee will never be bereft of knowledge and renunciation. He will always be endowed and blessed with enough knowledge, enough realization, enough detachment. Provided he has increased his bhakti. That's all. So therefore, ours is a positive engagement in devotional service. Ultimately, all things will happen one after the other. So, so what is keeping us in this world? Prabhupada explains in the purport. What is keeping us in this world? Only one thing is keeping us in this world. The tendency to enjoy material happiness is keeping us in this world. That is the cause of material bondage. Hmm? So Prabhupada is saying here that we are spirit soul, but we are encaged in this material body. Material body is our encagement. So we have to release the spirit soul from this material engagement. As much as when one is imprisoned and is put in jail, one has to get himself released. Living in jail is not all comfortable, but even in jail, there is all provision for living and enjoying. There is food, there is work. You can boss over even in jail. Every facility is there even in jail. And even in jail, there is quality of prison houses. But all the quality within the bars of imprisonment. A class, B class, C class prison house. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur always used to quote this, and Prabhupada always used to quote this. Hmm? There is enjoyment even in jail. But uh, does one prefer that kind of life, that kind of enjoyment? There is life going on even in prison house. Some people lifetime imprisonment they have. That means whole life you can live in jail also if you want. So that arrangement is made. But does somebody wants to experience a quality of life all his life in jail? Sometimes there is juvenile prison. From childhood, maybe by mistake did some wrong act, got into the jail. So from juvenile prison up to end of lives, there are people who are continuing to remain in prison house. Life goes on. So do we? So does that person want that kind of life, that experience of life? Life is giving experiences. What experience does one want to choose and prefer? One has to think. Therefore, the word is used buddha. It requires intelligence. So similarly, we are encaged in this material body and we can experience every day how much anxiety, suffering, shortcomings, and still we love this body. So much uh, care for this body. Then what is its due? There's what is its due? The basic care. But beyond that is not desirable. So entire existence is staked for this body, which is not very desirable. Therefore, Rishabhdev has used the word na sadhu manye. Sadhu means good. Na sadhu means not good, very bad. It's a very interesting usage. He has used the word na sadhu manye. Asan api. Uh, asa deha. Because of deha asa. Asa means attachment. Likingness to this body. Kleshadha. This body is only dha means diyate. This word donate, the D, there are many alphabets similar from Sanskrit. So dha means to give, diyate, daya. So klesha dha means it gives only klesha. This body is called klesha. There's another name for this body is actually klesha dha. So this body only brings about misery to the soul, engagement to this soul. Either in this body or another body. Just like you keep shifting prison houses from Mysore jail to Bangalore jail to you go to maybe some other jail, Maharashtra jail. And finally you'll end up in Tihar jail, highest promotion. Jail also there is promotion. You will become senior, junior there also. I'm senior. Jail also because there is somebody in 10 years in jail, 30 years in jail. Somebody is 50 years in jail. I'm senior. There also people have seniority. How much Maya, hmm, sense gratification. There also there is leadership in jail also. There are groups there also in jail. West wing, north wing, south wing. There also groupism is there. There also leadership is there. Uh, some is the leader of 50 prisoners. Some a leader of 100 prisoners. Some a leader for the entire jail. Prisoner, not the superintendent, not the jailer. Kaidis. There also leadership is there. How much rasa people are trying to enjoy lord over. First of all, he's in jail. There also he wants to lord over. Wants leadership. So every possibility the person wants to squeeze out, but is only giving kleshada and prolonging one's existence. That means his jail time is only increasing. 50 years somebody is in jail. What does it mean? Is it greatness and glory? Miserable, pathetic? No. Earliest you come out of the jail, that is glorious. But this man is taking pride. I'm 50 years in the jail. I'm senior. What is the pride? Even such kind of pride also the conditioned soul enjoys. See the height of illusion. It's called Avarnatmika Shakti. Avarnatmika Shakti. Hardly imagine the covering potency of Maya. So like that, we are also thinking, trying to gain some position, gain some enjoyment in so many ways and forms. In every stream and every possibility. and we are simply suffering and continuing our material existence. This is somebody's continuous imprisonment in the jail. Instead of behaving properly and trying to get out of the jail at the earliest, sometimes if the prisoner behaves very nicely, they'll reduce the term also. Instead of 1 year, they'll make it 3 months also. Sometimes there are cases like that. Similarly, if we act in Krishna consciousness, our term also can get reduced and we can go back to God. But we can also increase our term. In the jail, again, you do one more thing. So they will extend 1 year to 2 year, 2 year to end of 5 years. It keeps adding up, right? Sometimes we see 50, 60 cases. Finally, the judge will say, Are Baba, for this many cases on you, actually, it will go to 200 years imprisonment. But your lifespan is only 60, you're already 30 or 40, so only 20 years balance. Okay, continue. What can be? This is the maximum punishment I can give you because your punishment is so much I cannot even give. It goes to 200 years. 10 years of this, 10 years of that, 10 years of that, 10 years of that, like that. So like that, we're also something going on increasing, prolonging our material existence, thinking I'm happy. Huh? So while we are not happy. So this experience we take from these great realized souls and try to reduce our uh, imprisonment in this material body and experience spiritual happiness, not material happiness, which is simply asat, temporary and useless. But spiritual happiness is satya ananda and anantam. It is true, it is eternal, and it is ever expanding, very satisfying. Stop here, Grantha, Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Shri Prabhupada ki jai.